Despite all their protestations, the federal government does not care if you are intoxicated. If they cared that you were intoxicated, there would be an entirely different set of rules around a massive number of compounds that are regularly available to the public. The purpose of the war on drugs was not to prevent Americans from getting high. It was to give the police additional tools when dealing with problematic communities that are difficult to incorporate into the American polity. One of the core questions is, how did race get baked into the war on drugs? I think that totally misses the point. The war on drugs was designed with race in mind. Nixon's domestic policy head, John Ehrlichman, admitted that the 1971 strategy was specifically designed to let the administration vilify black communities and anti-war activists under the banner of drug control. This was a time in the nation when we had extensive amounts of urban unrest and high rates of violent crime in urban areas. Earlier waves of prohibition all followed this same principle. Drugs played a deep and substantial role in colonialism, especially in places like China. Opium laws aimed at Chinese immigrants, cocaine scares targeting black laborers, and then specifically the 1937 Marijuana Tax Act was pushed by an anti-Mexican sentiment. Underpinning this initial purpose is the fact that enforcement has never matched drug use. Black and white Americans consume illicit drugs at roughly the same rates. Yet 1 in 4 people arrested on drug charges is black, even though black people are 14% or less of the US population. For cannabis specifically, black users are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for possession than white users, despite similar usage patterns. The policy choice is hardwired for black-coded drugs. The Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986 created a 100-to-1 discrepancy between the enforcement of crack cocaine versus powdered cocaine. So 5 grams of crack drew the same 5-year federal term as 500 grams of cocaine, intentionally disproportionately jailing black people. So don't ever think that this is about you being intoxicated. This is about using the fact that you're intoxicated to target you if you're in a specific community that they already wanted to fucking target. The collateral damage goes far beyond prison. This is a massive capital drain on neighborhoods, generational wealth losses as the family absorb legal fees and lost income and reduced earning power after these convictions. Felonies mean you can never vote again. State felony disenfranchisement laws silence millions of black voters each election cycle. And then a huge number of health and violence externalities. Underground markets push conflict resolution into the streets, while public health resources chase carceral budgets. This is what's important to lawmakers when enforcing drugs. It is not about how healthy you are. It is not about your mental well-being. It is not about whether or not you are getting high. Reform is moving forward, but the equity gap continues. So here's my lobbying takeaway. The war on drugs didn't fail because it lacked teeth. It failed because its core design and objective was political control, not public safety. Any modern drug policy that ignores the racial foundation is doomed to recreate it with new vocabulary. This is a note for every recreational cannabis market in the country. We have to center equity. We have to make automatic expungement essential in every legislation. We have to have equalized sentencing for all these ridiculous substances that are still illegal. And we have to have community reinvestment, because this whole point was to be a succubus on these particular communities and to ensure that they never were able to grow or thrive. Or we can do what we're doing now, and we can keep paying for parallel justice systems that sort by skin tone.